Hey everyone, thanks so much for joining us for this virtual NASA Hyperwall presentation. We hope you're enjoying your virtual ALA experience so far, and I hope you'll have a little bit of fun playing this game with us today. So my name is Brooks Mitchell. I'm from the Space Science Institute and the Star Library Network. We're based out of Boulder, Colorado. I'm joined here by...
Hey everybody, my name is Claire Ratcliffe-Adams. I am an Education Associate at the Space Science Institute.
Thanks, Claire. So Claire and I work on two NASA-funded and supported projects. One is called NASA at My Library. The other one is called Moon, Mars, and Beyond. And Moon, Mars, and Beyond is a small exhibit and some supporting resources that are visiting libraries around the country to provide them with some information and exhibits and resources about the Artemis project. So today we're going to play a little game from our Moon, Mars, and Beyond exhibit. This game's also accessible for you as a library staff member if you want to facilitate this with your patrons, or if you want to share it with your patrons. We'll talk a little bit about how you can get this game in the hands of your patrons as well.
Before we jump into the game, we wanted to share with you a few resources and invite you all to join the StarNet community. So the StarNet community, or the Star Library Network is another way that we say it, is a place where we disseminate all of the different resources and activities that we create specifically for library staff to run science, technology, engineering, and math programs. So we have facilitation strategies and tips. We have an online clearinghouse full of STEM activities for libraries and all sorts of other stuff. So if you want to become part of this community, just go to www.starnetlibraries.org/register.
Wonderful, thanks, Claire. So Claire mentioned the STEM Activity Clearinghouse. That's something that if you do any public programs, and specifically any STEM-related programs, you might find that to be extremely useful. I should say all of our resources on StarNet are free, so you can access these for no cost. And our STEM Activity Clearinghouse is about 500 plus activities that we've curated from different vetted, reliable organizations that work well in the library setting. So, there's a lot of activities out there that might work really well in a school, a classroom setting, or maybe even like in a museum or science center. But our activities on the STEM Activity Clearinghouse recognize that, library staff are excited about STEM, but you might not necessarily have that STEM background. So it kind of walks you through how to facilitate some of these, and the activities are really like bite-sized. They're pretty approachable and they're not too difficult. So check out the STEM Activity Clearinghouse. You can also leave a review on an activity to help out a library staff member in the future to say, hey, this is a good activity, but here's how I modified it for my audience. Everything's really sortable as well. Like I said, 500 activities, but you can sort by age group, by cost, by the supporting resources available. So it's really customizable for you as well.
And another resource we want to share with you is SciGames.org. This is actually where the game that we're about to play lives. So if you like it, you should go to SciGames.org and check out the rest of the game. But this is a bunch of apps and games that we've developed for patrons. So you can just share this link with your patrons and they can do these games at home, or you can facilitate a program all together with your patrons in your computer lab, or if you have tablets or anything like that. But all of these games and apps have been developed for different exhibits and different projects, and they're all housed here at SciGames.org.
Wonderful. So yeah, let's jump into Earth, Moon, or Mars. It's pretty self-explanatory. We're going to show you some images, and you're going to guess, was this taken from Earth, Moon, or Mars? And so Claire and I are going to play with each other. But again, this could work for a big audience. And again, the question here is what you want to focus on is where was this picture taken from? So on the online version, we're only going to do, I think, 5 little questions today. But on the online version, there's 15 to 20 questions, and they will randomize too. So there's a lot of different other options outside of the ones we're going to show you today. So yeah, let's jump into it. All right, Claire, I'm going to ask you first. We got Earth, Moon, or Mars. Where do you think that this picture was taken from?
I'm pretty sure this was taken from the moon. It looks like there's a shadow in the corner of someone taking the picture, and the landscape to me looks like the moon.
Okay, is there anything else you see that might make you think that it's the moon?
Yeah, I see a lunar rover in the corner over there, a lunar lander, I should say. I see craters. And I know like we actually have gone to the moon. So the fact that there's a person there taking this picture makes me think that this is from the moon.
All right, well, we started with an easy one, but yeah, you nailed it. This is taken from the moon. We've probably all seen an image like this, you know, and it looks that kind of grayscale, white and black we're used to seeing too. So yes, starting with an easy one, this was taken from the moon.
Okay, Brooks, you are up next. Where do you think this picture was taken from?
Okay, so taken from, I see the Earth out there. So I know this wasn't taken from the Earth, but I don't really know I don't know what the Earth would look like from the moon. But it doesn't look too far away. I'm gonna say this was taken maybe from the moon.
All right, so let's see.
Oh.
This picture was actually taken from Mars. This picture was taken by NASA's Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter, looking back at the Earth and the moon. So that other object you see there in the picture is actually the moon. And when this image was taken, Earth was about 127 million miles from Mars.
So now I know what, yeah, I guess, you know, a slightly magnified version of the Earth from 127 miles looks like. That's pretty impressive. All right. So that one's a little tricky, right? Where was it taken from? I'm looking at the Earth, but it was taken from Mars. All right. Okay, so Claire, this might look a little familiar to you. I know you've spent a lot of time in the desert in the Southwest. Where do you think this picture was taken from?
Yeah, this does look really familiar. I've spent a lot of time in southern Utah. So this reminds me a lot of the like sandstone, like the colors and the textures, not a lot of vegetation. So maybe like Goblin Valley. So I'm gonna say this was taken from Earth.
All right, she even got specific with us, a specific region of Earth. Let's see. No, I'm sorry, Claire. This was actually taken from Mars. And the Curiosity rover took this picture when it was exploring the Murray Buttes, which are at the base of Mount Sharp. So when it was exploring this area, it found buttes, it found mesas, rock walls, cliff faces, really similar to what we see in the American Southwest. Now, these two landscapes, the American Southwest and Murray Buttes on Mars, are millions and millions of miles apart, yet similar geologic processes, like similar erosion, similar rock formations, like sedimentary rock formations, are responsible for this landscape. So you weren't right, but you were thinking along the right path.
All right, and back to you, Brooks. Where do you think this picture was taken from?
This looks pretty Martian to me. I'm going to say Mars, right? We got the red rocks, and I guess I'm going to say Mars.
All right. So this was actually taken on Earth. This was taken in Wadi Rum in Jordan, and this area of Earth looks so much like Mars that it is used in movies. So you were on the right track. This is actually, this photo shows Matt Damon's character in The Martian. So it's meant to portray Mars, but the big giveaway here is the person in the photo. No humans have actually gone to Mars yet. So,
oh, that's right. Only on the big screen.
Yes.
All right.
Our imaginations.
What about this one, Claire?
This is a really tricky one. I feel like you got me before thinking that it was Earth when it was actually Mars. So, but it looks so much like it would be taken from Earth because of like it's in color.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not really looking like Mars that much to me. I'm going to say Earth for this one.
This kind of looks like something we might see up high on a mountain at like 11,000 or 12,000 feet, right?
Yeah, it reminds me of like, maybe granite rocks or something like that.
Well, sorry to say that this is actually taken from the surface of the moon, but I understand why we're not used to seeing those color pictures of the moon, right? Like we saw in the first image. When we think of the moon, we think of images, we think of like black and white or grayscale. But this was taken by a Chinese rover, the U2 or the Jade Rabbit rover, and it took this picture from the surface of the moon in 2014, which is one of the first lunar surface pictures taken since the 70s. Now, this is a true color photo, and this gives us a better impression of what the lunar surface actually looks like. So maybe not quite as grayscale or black and white, excuse me, as we've seen on other images. There actually is some color on the moon surface.
All right, and this is our last image for this presentation. So Brooks, where was this photo taken?
I see the redness, kind of, right? And I see a big crater, and I know that craters are pretty prevalent on, I know we have some on Earth, but we get a lot on the moon, and we see a lot on Mars too. So I don't know, can you give me a hint maybe?
Yeah, so there is a structure in this image that was actually built by humans.
Ah. All right, I'm gonna say I got fooled again. I got fooled earlier, so I'm gonna say this was taken from Earth.
Very good. Yes, up here at the top, you can actually see a little parking lot. There's even some little vehicles parked in the parking lot. So even though, we have gone to the moon and we're sending spacecraft to Mars, we have not yet built a parking lot on any of those objects in space. So yes, this is the Barringer crater in Arizona. In theory, Earth should have as many craters as the moon. As you were saying, you know that the moon has a lot of craters, so maybe the Earth doesn't. But actually, erosion wears the craters away. But this crater in Arizona is actually very well preserved. It is the result of a 150-foot asteroid impacting the planet 50,000 years ago.
That is amazing. It's amazing that the asteroid hit so close to the visitor center, but yet didn't destroy the visitor center. Bad jokes here. All right. On that note, we want to thank you for joining us for this Hyperwall presentation. As a reminder, you can access this activity, and there's a lot more images to choose from, either through the STEM Activity Clearinghouse or through SciGames. If you go to the Clearinghouse, just do a simple search for Mars Match. And then if you go to SciGames, just do a search for Earth, Moon, or Mars, or it should be kind of on that first homepage. Well, it's been fun presenting. We hope you have a great virtual ALA experience, and we hope you check out starnetlibraries.org for more resources, and we hope to see you around.
Thanks, everybody.